Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Movies by the Letter. I'm joined by two beautiful people here. You may start.
Hi. We did the introductions in the first episode. Do we do them at every episode? Okay. I'm Carter.
Did you forget?
Because I might be confused because I introed the last one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you say your name?
I am Nick.
Three sexy voices. Might get confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They all meld together at some point.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm Jonathan.
And those are your hosts. And
Yeah.
this
Plugs
show-
at the end.
It's me. I'm Jonathan.
Plugs come at the end. Yes. And this show works by we pick a letter.
What's the name of the show?
What's the name
Movies
of
by
the
the
show?
Letter. I said the name.
I don't think she...
Wait, what's the name?
I
She.
said she.
I mean,
Big
whatever you
reveal.
want.
Can we not
Yeah.
have a disaster?
Could be a
beginning
woman
again?
with a deep
Alright,
voice.
never mind. Keep going.
Okay, so this show works by we chose a letter randomly.
You
No.
don't choose randomly.
This is
We use a random letter
we used a
generator.
random letter generator.
Randomlettergenerator.com.
And
If you
each of
wanna
us
do it
pick
yourself.
a movie based off that letter. I chose Octopussy.
Well,
Octo, what?
You didn't even say the letter that we...
It's O, okay?
We announced
Oh.
it last. We also didn't announce what movies we were doing.
No, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing it again. Just
Yeah, we want to
Sorry.
reiterate.
Sorry.
In
Sorry,
case the
guys.
last episode and the title didn't already tell them.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Okay, say your movie.
What movie did you pick?
I just said.
He said Octopus.
Okay. I picked Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Is that Christian?
I chose One Sings, the Other Does Not.
What's the French title?
Agnes
I don't
Varda.
speak French.
Agnes Varda.
Agnes?
Agnes? I don't know
I
how to
assume
pronounce
it's Agnes.
I think
Agnes
it's-
Varda.
Agnes.
Look
up
But
the
she's French, so it
pronunciation.
could be different.
Agnes Varda.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I have
we'll
no
get to
idea. I just
Whatever.
looked at Agnes.
I don't even know the director. of
Agnes makes
Octopussy.
more sense.
Doesn't matter though. The director
She's
of
a
Octopussy.
fake. No,
that. Yeah. We want dates, we want directors. We should have been prepared with this.
she's a
Sorry.
very
Oh, okay.
famous. She was influential during the French New Wave movement. She
Okay,
actually
Mr.
made.
Genius.
She made. I wrote an essay on French New Wave. So.
Here he goes again.
She made what is considered the first French New Wave film. But her most famous one is Cleo from 5 to 7. I haven't seen any
Shut
of
All
them.
right.
up already.
Who wants to start?
I think I'll go.
Alrighty.
My film is directed by the
Coens.
I know
Joel
he
Coen.
booed me.
I know.
It's Joel Coen.
The legendary Coen brothers.
It was
Joel
just
and
one Coen that
Actually,
directed.
one of them directed it.
Yeah.
The other one wrote it.
You
They
can-
both wrote it.
Whenever any Coen directs movie, you can.
Oh,
just
you
say
know
the
everything
Coen
about the
brothers.
French New
Oh, yeah,
Wave.
you know
but when
everything
we come
about
to
the
the
Coens.
Coens.
You can just
You know
say
nothing.
Coen brothers
You kiss
for
them too?
any
But it's
Coen
not
brother
true.
movie.
Yeah, it's not
No
true.
one would ever say.
We're
Joel
here to
Coen.
educate.
Yes, this is an educational show.
Episode 2 has got off to a rocky
Alright,
start,
whatever.
This
clearly.
is already
Oh,
terrible.
brother, we're out there. I messed up the name.
Come on, man.
Directed by the Coen brothers. Well, made. I'll say made by the Coen
Doesn't
brothers.
Better, I guess.
You just spent 5 or whatever.
We haven't even talked about a movie yet.
Alright, anyways, it's a movie about 3 chain gang convicts escaping.
Chaps.
What's their names?
I don't know.
One's named George, right?
Mhm.
Or is that just
One's
because
Everett,
Yep, because they do
Yeah,
a
Everett.
Mice and Men reference.
Pete?
Everett,
Also.
Pete, and George, right?
Yeah.
So they
which
go-
one's
Wait,
George?
George is George Clooney, right?
No, Everett is George
Yeah.
Clooney.
Oh.
Which one's the other? Look this up.
Pete is
Everett's-
the.
yeah,
Pete
Pete.
is
Look this
John.
up.
Pete's the
You
stupidest.
have it on your phone.
Pete's not the
right?
George is the stupidest.
Here,
George
I'll
is
look
the
it
stupidest,
up.
and
Then
Pete
Pete
is the.
Is
I don't gauge people by their intelligence, so.
That's
well
what-
in this movie.
You have to.
Anyways, whatever.
What character did that?
But
So
yeah,
wait.
one is George because one of them says, "What's eating George?" and it's like the ending of Mice and Men.
Oh.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler.
To the ending of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Spoiler to all these
Spoiler.
movies.
That didn't even spoil it. One
Well,
line
it is
from
a-
the
it
end
is
of,
a-
of Mice and Men
It
is,
is a
Spoiler
good.
alert.
It is a good mention that we will be spoiling all these movies.
and
so-
some books apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some high
Sorry
school
for
books.
sorry
Some
for the
books we all require.
sorry for those who are halfway through of Mice and Men. Right
We
now.
didn't. I didn't even spoil
Yeah.
it.
Alright. This episode has gone off the rails.
Of Mice and Men's a great book, also.
Yeah, my favorite part is the ending.
All right.
You guys want to talk about the ending of
The ending of Mice and Men.
All right.
Why didn't we do of Mice and Men?
All right, let's take a time out, compose ourselves, and then talk about
I'm composed, okay?
3 chain gangers escape from their chains, and it's basically about their rise to fame. It's loosely based off of the Odyssey, which I was actually enlightened by Jonathan that they didn't even read the Odyssey and just kind of based it around some of the characters they had.
That's what I read, is that they didn't, like, a lot like how Fargo was based off a true story and wasn't actually. Like, this is based off the Odyssey, but I read somewhere that they didn't actually even read the Odyssey.
I haven't actually read the whole Odyssey.
Isn't the whole Odyssey like 1,000 pages?
Yeah.
Didn't we have to read some of it?
Yeah, we read like an
excerpt. We read some stories.
We read like an excerpt.
Like the Cyclops story and everything.
Anyways, so it's about these 3 friends who escape from the chain gang, and basically they meet a whole cast of characters on their way there. They have their ups and downs.
They go on an odyssey.
Yeah, they basically...
It's an epic.
They go on a huge country adventure, and ends up paying pretty handsomely for them in the end.
Mm-hmm.
They have some scares along the way. They meet an interesting cast of characters.
Yes.
But, I mean... Yeah, so
this is one that we didn't... I don't think... None of these we watched together.
No.
With our last podcast, 2 of them we watched together, 1 we watched separately.
Yes.
This one is all... We're pretty blind on each other's thoughts.
I don't think any of us had seen any of these movies before, either.
No, I've not seen any of these.
So, I mean, I guess I'll go first for...
Okay.
How do you want to do the order? Like,
me, John, Nick? Probably?
Okay, fine.
Me, Nick, John.
I'll go last.
Alright, that's fair.
Because you 2 know.
I'll go first. I loved Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I thought it was such a blast from beginning to end. I think the pacing is fantastic. I think the characters they meet along the way are memorable, they're quirky, and even the ones with the smallest of scenes end up like they're in my brain now, and I love them. And I think the movie is a very aesthetically pleasing movie.
Roger Deakins did.
You know, the more that I talk about it, the more it sounds just like Do the Right Thing.
Time out. Did you guys have the Blu-ray of it?
No.
No, I rented it. So I saw the HD version.
Yes, I watched DVD also.
But, yeah, I kind of ended up adoring this movie. And it's just really feel-good. It's like a very crowd-pleasing movie. I can see most people enjoying this film.
I'll go second then.
And I honestly, I loved it, and I think I could see myself just laying back and watching this pretty much any time. Any feeling, any emotion, and having a good time.
Okay, I'll go second. I also really love this movie. It's one of those ones where if I were to be browsing the guide on my TV someday and it were on, I'm always going to click it, because I was constantly smiling about this movie. It was fun.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I was laughing at. I would say almost all of the jokes.
I'll get it. I can't think of one that really missed when it came to me.
There were a few.
Well, yeah,
but never,
I can't
egregious.
Nothing that is sticking out with me to the point where I'm like I can remember it. And I watched it last night. So, late last night. But I echo a lot of what Carter said, and I just really... I'll get into more specific moments that I really loved about this, sequences, but, this was just fun.
I took...
Same, plainly.
I took notes on the film.
I did too.
Well, I was going to, and I ended up just listing off all of the characters that I loved, and it was all of the characters, because they all have their own little, quirky traits to them, but they're so memorable, and they're really just... Each one just kind of... It's a world-building movie, pretty much, except it all takes place in the country setting during the Depression.
Mm-hmm.
It's very... All of the Coen Brothers movies, for the most part, with a few exceptions, have country feel to them.
It's bluegrass.
And this is, country, southern feel to them.
Like folky movies.
This is probably the most
Yeah.
overtly Southern movie that the Coen brothers ever made. And it's absolutely lovable. It's pretty much just a giant love letter to the South.
Can another thing I want to say is, that Carter didn't mention, is I loved the soundtrack of this movie. Like, I wanted to go listen to it immediately after. Shout out to the Soggy
The Soggy Brothers.
Soggy Brothers.
Soggy Bottom Brothers?
Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yeah, Soggy Bottom Brothers.
I was like, I want to go download that song that they sang. Like, it was
Sorrow or something? I don't know.
The more we talk about this, the more I keep making connections to Do the Right Thing, which we talked about in the last episode. In that this film was also pretty culturally important, because I believe it brought about like kind of a new wave of folk music becoming fairly popular. And more important than that, this was one of the first films to use digital color grading, which is now used on pretty much everything you'll ever see in the theater. So
I loved how it looked.
it looks great, because the Coen brothers, when they shot this movie, they thought everything was too green, so they made everything kind of yellow.
Everything's brown
and
and
it fits
yellow.
with the tone, and it looks great, honestly.
All right,
the whole movie.
let's let Nick get his words in, and then we'll go back to it.
So I really like this movie. I think it's thoroughly enjoyable. I agree. It's a lot of fun. The soundtrack is easily one of the things that stood out to me.
The soundtrack.
I was like tapping my foot along watching it. It's really
I was
just
playing my banjo along with it.
yeah. I actually just got up and started dancing.
It's not a musical, by the way.
It isn't a musical,
but
but the music is very prominent.
This is
yeah, it's a very musical.
This is why it
movie.
reminded me of another movie we'll talk about in a little bit.
Octopussy.
Not quite. In other ways, it reminds me of that.
But I don't know. I think I kind of went into this kind of comparing it to my favorite Coen brother movie, Fargo.
Fargo's my favorite.
And I think Fargo has way
I'm a
better
No
characters
Country
than
for
this.
Old Men, man.
You think so?
Yes, I think Fargo has better characters. I think Steve Buscemi's character in Fargo.
I think
cannot
Fargo has a better story.
Steve Buscemi's character, and that's it for me.
No, I
Fargo.
love Peter Stormare's character also.
I think Fargo has a way better story.
Well,
but this
yeah.
Oh Brother
give
were.
who did you say? Steve Buscemi's character?
And Peter Stormare.
Yeah,
I
would
like-
say those two were pretty much.
Also-
Marge Gunderson's a great
I
character.
mean,
Marge
Frances
Gunderson's
McDormand
amazing.
is good in it, but her character isn't really like that.
No, I love her.
appealing.
I love
character.
Marge Gunderson.
The thing about Fargo is it's so.
I love her.
I don't.
Okay, what I was gonna say
I'm
is
not
I
as
think
I think
huge on Fargo
the most
as
disappointing part
everyone.
about
I
this
love-
I
movie-
don't want to get into that.
I love
now.
Fargo, and I think the characters in this are better, but I think this is more of a character-based movie.
Yes.
I think this is more focused.
But I think the characters in Fargo are better, but that's my own opinion. But I would
I think that's
also
less
say
though.
I
I
was
was less.
kind
I
of
was-
disappointed by this movie. Didn't really give me a lot to think about. Like when I watch Fargo, I'm thinking about something while watching it.
Did Octopussy?
I
give you
don't
something to
think-
think about.
A lot.
Here. Yeah, I would say the reason why I don't think most Coen Brothers movies for me aren't like considered some of my favorite movies is because I don't think almost any of them give you a lot to think about.
Big Lebowski is my favorite comedy of all time, and what does that movie really
Yeah,
give you to
exactly.
think about?
I
A
don't know,
lot
there's-
of the
there's
That's a movie about a
There's
bum
a
just,
lot
like,
of-
literally
But
It
there's
just
a lot of
floating.
emotion in that movie, and
the Coen.
besides being
You don't think
funny,
there's emotion in this movie?
I didn't really feel anything for the characters.
Oh.
The main characters?
The chemistry
What?
between
the chemistry is great, but
the
like
chemistry between the three main characters is some of the best.
The
like,
chemistry
friendship
between them was
chemistry
so good to the
is-
point where I was hoping they would stay chained up for the entire movie.
but like when Pete disappears and turns into a toad, I really didn't feel anything.
Well, obviously, because it's kind of played as a joke the entire film.
It is played as
If
a
they
joke.
played it as he
But
was
then I-
actually dead, then of course you
Yeah,
would feel
we
something.
the audience knows that obviously he's gonna come back.
I didn't feel anything because they treated it as a lighthearted side plot and not.
But
I
think
knew that
he's
he was gonna
gone.
come back. I
I
knew they
think-
wouldn't take this main of a character and just be like, oh, guess he's gone.
I think that made me.
And
think,
if he
like,
did, then
even
I would
if-
be like, oh,
even
what
if
the
his
fuck?
character did die, I don't think I'd care that much.
Oh, I would. I would be
Really,
bummed.
I would
don't
be.
I'd be like,
because
what?
the Coen Brothers kind of their like thing is that they have these nihilistic like we don't care type tone movies. Like,
Yes,
have you ever
that's-
seen Burn After Reading?
Burn After Reading is great.
Burn
I love
After
Burn
Reading, I really like that movie, but that's like one of the most Coen Brother movies ever.
And I love that.
Because it's basically like F you.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
doesn't.
love.
Nothing matters.
F you.
And that's why I don't think a lot of Coen Brothers movies like give you a lot to think about. But this movie, I would agree, it doesn't give you a lot to think about. I would say of the Coen Brothers filmography, this is one of the most fun experiences.
I didn't think I
had.
needed.
I would agree with you. It's the most fun.
I was so caught up with
I had-
how enjoyable just everything was that
And
I didn't mind.
I completely agree with you with a lot of things. Like, it looks gorgeous. Roger Deakins is probably one of the best cinematographers out there.
Mm-hmm.
It is an amazing looking movie. And one of my favorite sequences of all time, and it's always stuck in my mind, is the sequence with John Goodman's character. When
The Cyclops scene?
yes, that scene is great.
Which?
When he takes him out to a picnic.
Oh wait! Oh really?
Yeah,
I thought you were
that
gonna mention
sequence-
the sirens.
Or the siren scene is
The
very
siren
good.
scenes might have been that was one of my
But
favorite moments.
one of my
Really?
favorites is probably.
I
the-
thought like the way the way they edited it, so it was like it felt like truly mesmerizing. I thought it was so well done and so cool.
I
didn't feel
found not the moment where the Ku Klux Klan mayor when he revealed himself, I thought that was kind of lame. But the moment right before that, not lame, but like kind of just like like another moment in the movie. But the moment right before that, when they first start performing and the crowd goes wild,
Yeah.
I had like this stupid, gleeful smile on my face.
That whole sequence is so
That
good.
whole sequence, and I loved it.
I love how obviously lip syncing they are.
Yes.
It's so fun.
It's
I
so
think
corny
The best.
and-
I think the best shot, like the movie looked was the KKK.
Yes, the
Yes,
sequence
yes,
is
yes.
incredible.
Looks so.
I was about to
Also,
mention
one of
that
the funniest moments in the movie
when he catches the Confederate flag.
No, when
Oh, I
he
love
when
it.
he's a KKK hood with
Yes,
one
with-
eye is such
Oh, I
a
didn't
funny
notice that.
thing.
Yeah,
John Goodman's character
he
is
does, like,
hood
a
has
slow
one eye.
turnaround.
His one eye. It's so fun.
man.
It's
He
so
does it-
smart.
He does a slow.
I think the writing for this movie was so.
I will
smart.
admit, I want to give this movie a rewatch just because I did
I can't wait
really
to-
enjoy
I
it.
can't
I
wait to
would
watch
watch
it
this
again.
movie again tonight because I had
Honestly,
such a
so
great
much
time.
fun.
Honestly, probably if I rewatched it, I'd probably give it a higher score.
Can we talk about some characters that we love?
Yes,
Alright, well, I have a giant list of pretty much every
Okay.
character in the
the
film.
mayor.
Okay,
Well,
what was the
We
guy?
can go through.
The guy who picked them up with the money, who is being arrested at the end.
Oh my God, yes.
What's his
Babyface?
name?
Well, we could go through.
It's George something. George.
Let's
go
go
through-
Let's go through the film because I have it pretty much in order. Every character. First person they meet, classic. This was like as soon as I saw it, I was thinking, okay, this is gonna be a classic tab. They're gonna keep it simple, and that was the blind
blind guy.
prophet.
The blind.
Oh my
prophet is pretty funny.
When they sat down on that and didn't help
Yes.
him, I laughed so hard because they're really just gonna sit and let this blind guy push them.
I think that
There's
scene
like, we-
also has a great part where like it kind of sounds like dogs barking before it comes to them, but then it turns around and it's that. I think that's
Oh
a great
really?
reveal. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Then after that, they go to their backstabbing cousin's house in another great, hilarious, ridiculous scene with the kid driving the car on the stack of books.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember what I'm talking about?
And
And they burn the.
I love
car
when
down.
they start burning it down. What's the line he keeps repeating up and when you keep hearing him say the same line over
Shit,
and over
I'm trying to
again.
remember.
Oh, I know
what
what
No,
you're
I'm
talking
talking about.
about,
Every time you said it, I laughed because like it started with like being very prominent, and then like slowly you heard it in the background.
Oh, I forgot about this character. There's a guy who sold his soul to the devil.
Oh my
Yes!
God! Yes, the player who sold
and
the
it's
devil.
not really mentioned again.
He mentioned
It's
it once. He
mentioned
said,
at the
"Oh,
end.
yeah, I
It's
sold
like
the
towards
they
the
have
end.
they have a brief one-off joke about it.
It's so great.
Was it
At the end,
referencing the
they-
one song like about
The devil in Georgia
Devil in Georgia?
with the
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought
it
it
was
was the
a reference to that.
KKK member was like, this guy sold his soul to the devil.
No, I'm saying I thought it
No,
was-
just because he was African.
I thought like the selling a solo to be able to play guitar
Yeah,
was like
that's-
referencing the
I
song.
thought it was a reference to that song.
Like the devil went down
Oh, yeah, to play the
to
fiddle?
yeah.
Oh. Well, it could
He's
be.
a great
I don't
Radio
know.
host.
I'm glad he came back. in
The radio
The
host,
radio
of
host
course.
is so good.
Another
He's
blind
blind.
person.
He's the guy from Mr. Robot, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
He also looked like the guy from Get Out,
What's
the
his
blind artist, a
name?
little bit.
Yes, he was the guy from Get Out because that's the same guy from Mr.
yeah.
Robot.
Is he actually blind?
What's his name?
One thing?
No, he's not blind because he's not blind in Mr. Robot.
Is he playing blind characters all the
One,
time?
because he's got weird eyes.
I gotta find his.
Oh.
It's
I mean,
so
I'm
it's on the
sorry,
tip
I'm
of
not
my
eye
phone.
shaming. One thing I liked about this movie is in the end, the three main characters obviously succeed, but the mayor who ends up winning is also kind of a douche.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it was this victorious moment of the mayor winning, and he's just as big of a d-bag as the KKK member, pretty much.
I love how he treated his sons.
Oh my god!
You son bitch!
Yeah,
and they kept hitting them. Also, it's Christian Slater.
Oh.
There's a lot
Christian
of
Slater.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's him.
Christian Slater was not in Get Out.
100%.
That's not him.
Yeah. Am I wrong then?
I think you're wrong.
You're thinking.
Hold up.
Christian Slater plays Mr. Robot.
Yeah. He's like the most important character.
Yes, I know. Hold up.
Anyways,
Mr. Robot, #1 fan.
I realize that our
Keep
review
talking,
so
I'm
far
looking at
has
this.
just been us saying moments in the movie and then
Yeah.
all laughing.
Because that's
but
what
that's
it is.
what it is.
Stephen
It's just-
Root.
It's
Stephen
great moments in a movie,
It's like a
back
road
to back
trip
to back,
movie.
nonstop. It's
It is
an
a
epic.
hundred-
It's a country epic.
It is
Yes.
100%, and it's like it's so like disjointed. It's in the same way like
Yeah, I didn't really think it was disjointed.
no, but I'm saying like it's like a set of vignettes, but they all
Yes,
like
that's
work
the best way to
together. You
describe
know what I
it.
mean? Not
Bunch of-
disjoint like.
Mini short stories.
Yes,
back to
exactly.
back, but it all flows
And
perfectly.
it still has like the classic like what's the term I'm looking for, like
Hero's journey.
no the guy with the boots and the dog, like the
classic antagonist.
the classic like thing that's always following, like from
Yeah.
from No Country from Old
The
Men, like
impending
that
doom.
guy.
Mm.
Yeah, the impending doom, that's the term I was looking for. Yeah, it has like all the like it's just like so it's like by the books, but like
I got really nervous
not.
the film would have a dark ending with them being Hun, because I could actually see that happening in
I
a Coen
was
Brothers
like,
movie.
no.
I was like,
because I remember
No, I could see that happening in a Coen Brothers movie,
Yeah.
honestly.
I love how he's sorry to this off topic, but like when he finally gets his wife back, and then like he refuses to go hit the brakes. She's
Yeah.
like, she counted to 3.
It was
man.
just a cute moment.
It's so funny. There's so many, and then when the guy comes back and the mob's leading him through,
There's a
He's
lot
so
of
happy.
what
like,
I would
everything just I
consider-
love how everything comes
Yeah.
back.
There's a lot of what I would consider dumb moments,
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
but it works
works.
because of what the movie was going for.
I know
It worked in other movies. I could see myself being annoyed, but not in this one. It just made me smile.
it was just just smiling during this movie. It was so fun.
Yeah, watch this with your grandparents.
I
Watch
think
this
you
with
could.
little Timmy.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah,
Watch
you
it
can
with
the
anyone.
whole family. actually.
Yeah.
It's a really
Honestly, this is
Good Christmas movie. Gather the family
Is there
round.
swears?
I
I forget
picked
if there are
Fargo.
swears.
It's PG-13, so
Is it
nothing
PG?
big.
Then yeah.
They say
They
The
say
N-word?
like. They don't say the N-word. I specifically made
They
note
say
that they didn't. They say
Negro.
they say
yeah.
Negro. Because when they go
I
there,
love
it was
how
like
we're canceled.
Negroes. That's
he
one of my
says,
favorite.
He
jokes.
says one. He says like an old
Oh yeah.
slur,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Milhano or something.
Oh.
That like
I remember when I
isn't
was-
really considered.
I
Like,
remember
no
I
one
was-
uses that anymore as a
I
reason.
know.
I was Googling something about this. I remember like the top question being like, was George Clooney actually singing? I was like, really? People needed to ask this?
It was honestly.
I love the scene where they're in blackface, or
Oh, yeah.
kind
Oh,
of in
yes.
blackface.
They look like- it's
and they say
Who let
when they infiltrate, who let the guards
who let
be black
be?
people or something like that.
So funny.
This is probably the worst review ever because it's just us.
It is.
But like, it's also like,
saying moment, but
it's
it's
the best, like-
it represents
It's the
how
best,
we
like,
feel about the movie, which is
if you're
just
gonna
Glee.
recommend something to someone, like this is how you would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would
You know what
say,
I mean?
oh, there's these great
You're not
moments
gonna
in
be
it.
like, the plot of this one really.
No,
Especially
this
not
isn't
for
that type
this
of
film.
movie.
Like,
Yeah.
like for other ones that are the more serious tone, obviously, but like this one's just like, you gotta see this character, you gotta see this moment, like.
Show it to anyone.
I don't really
Show
have
it
anything
to
else to say
anyone.
about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we touched on it
Racists
pretty
could
well.
even like it.
Yeah, racist could.
Yeah.
They have some.
Recommend it to racists.
Show your racist grandpa.
All right,
Yep.
we going for scores?
Scores.
All
Nick,
right.
you go first.
Nick, so
I'm at a solid 8.
Really?
What?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm at an 8-2. Thought Nick didn't like this movie.
I'm at an 8 too.
Well, the more you talk about it,
I know we convinced him.
like I just think back to those scenes, and it's just so much fun. You are right. Like,
I know, like I wish this is when we all watch together.
yeah, this would be a fun one to watch together.
I really liked it.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
great movie.
I watched this movie at 12 o'clock at night for half an hour, woke up at 7 in the morning and finished it, and I smiled the entire time.
I watched this at from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.
I watched this a while ago. I don't even remember.
And I loved it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I give it a
I think
love.
we're all at 8.
Yeah.
This is not an. Oh,
That is really weird.
I was wondering if anyone would be like, I give this an oh brother.
I give it 2 O's stacked on top of each other.
Next movie.
Next movie. Is that me?
After that joke, next movie.
I think that was...
Stop the podcast.
It's pretty much a perfect movie.
It's not a 10, so.
Well,
It's perfect popcorn
It's
movie.
perfect
It's
for
perfect
what
popcorn.
it
It's
is.
a perfect popcorn.
Yeah.
It's perfect for what it is. It's not. You're not gonna get a deep meaning out of it, really.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. It might not even be one you think about a lot, but it's one you'll always come back to.
Oh, I've been thinking about the
Be-
characters a lot.
Be smiling.
I haven't been thinking about it that much, but I still liked it.
Maybe it's fresh in our. It's fresh in our
It's
minds.
this
Yeah.
joyful thought in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie will always be there for me.
I'm gonna play that.
I think it was
soundtrack.
after Oh Brother I watched Fargo again.
Oh, gee, yeah. They're like. She's like, oh.
I love Fargo so much.
Yeah.
You know,
I
let's
mean-
just talk about Fargo.
All right. Well,
F.
Fargo cast.
what are we moving on to?
Do you want to do mine or yours next? I'm kind of.
Thinking John's.
I'm thinking next.
Nick's got the vote
Wanna do
then.
mine? I did Octopussy.
What's
Directed by
What's Octopussy?
John Glen. Here, the plot of
It's a Bond.
Octopussy is James Bond is the worst spy of all time, but he still gets shit done somehow.
That's a great summary of this.
Says that
movie.
your entire summary?
I love this movie and hate this movie.
Okay.
John?
No, I want to hear yours next.
I'm
I
not
hate
done.
this movie.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Oh,
Fine.
okay.
I need to talk about
Spoiler alert to how I feel
this. This
about
movie
this.
is so fun. This movie is just fun. There's so much dumb stuff in this movie, but so much
There's a lot
fun.
of dumb stuff in this movie.
There's some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen in this movie. He dresses up as an alligator at some point.
Oh my! That's the scene I couldn't wait to talk about. I love that alligator scene.
There's just so much stuff to talk about. It's insane. This movie is literally insane.
I know. I felt like a crazy person made this movie.
My mind was blown. There's a clown chase scene in this movie.
There is a clown.
There's literally a clown
There's
chase.
two.
There's two clown
There's
chases.
two clown chases
With two spies.
and two different people. One at the beginning and one at the end.
It's
It's a
insane.
callback. Well, am
That's
I up
funny.
next?
Yes, you're right.
Wait, no. Oh, yeah. You go next, and then I'll go
Because you're
next.
in the middle ground.
I'm in the middle ground. I think I did not hate this movie at all. I had a good time for the most part watching this movie. I think there were definitely moments where it slogged. There were definitely moments where I was like, okay, something needs to happen here. I'm not sure. A lot of this movie was. I hate to be that guy, but like there were definitely some like problematic moments.
Oh, there's
in
a
this
bunch
movie.
of problematic moments in this movie.
Like, cause like there were times where I'm like, oh,
Wait,
they're trying to.
problematic as in
I mean,
plot problems or
James
culturally
Bond.
Cultural.
insensitive?
James Bond.
James
should
Bond
get
is the
dude.
horniest man in the
He's the
entire
horniest
world.
man alive.
The scene with him
I'll
when
talk
it's the
about
camera,
James
and his
Bond.
when it's
zooms in.
camera and he zooms in on the boobs.
I'll talk about the
I want
James
to talk
Bond.
about the James Bond horny.
Oh
I think
my
that's
God.
a whole
That's all I
conversation.
want to talk
I just
about.
want to talk about
Imagine James
how
Bond.
James Bond might be the lamest person on screen. Not the lamest Bond, the lamest
Okay,
person.
let me
No.
keep going. Let me finish
No,
my.
I can't agree.
Let me finish
He's so-
my thing. So, there were times in the movies trying to like portray like these strong women characters who are like action packed, and then literally like the next scene
I wrote
they will
that
be
down
like
in my notes.
they will be like, oh, I guess she's just making out with James Bond now just because for no reason.
She was saying no 1 second, and then the next.
Exactly. It's just like
I saw
that. Like that.
I was like, oh, they're kicking ass, and I
and
wrote
like,
that down.
I'm like,
but
okay,
then the
cool.
next
They're
scene-
giving like these really cool women character. Like I thought Octopussy was gonna be like the main villain. I was like, oh, she's this really cool
Yeah.
like women character.
I was like,
Oh,
okay.
she's just making out with James Bond for no
I thought
reason.
she was gonna be the villain of the movie, and I was gonna be like, oh, okay, this is different. Nope, it's some white dude.
Same
I would have
with
been
the-
fine if she was a form of anti-hero. She wasn't even that.
And
Yeah,
like
she
she
was
just got
She kind of
oblivious.
And then
she
they try
kinda
and-
did nothing.
and then
in
they
the movie.
try and like do
She
this
fucked James
scene.
Bond.
Then they
Yeah.
try and do this scene at the end where they like redeem all these female characters, but even then they're just like using their body to do it. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is annoying.
The final scene is just James Bond gets all of them.
Yeah,
now.
he gets.
It's so lame.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's,
how does he come in?
that plane scene is so ridiculous.
Anyways.
How does he come in the
But-
final scene though? A fucking hot air balloon.
Am I up?
No,
Yeah.
I'm so
Of all the spy
Okay.
equipment, a hot air balloon.
So, I do agree with Nick that there are moments of this movie that are just, it's hard not to love and enjoy and just have pure fun with, just out of, like, you think, like, the John Wick movies are ridiculous? Well, one, the John Wick
not
action,
comparable.
the John Wick action scenes put this movie to shame. I know this.
Yeah.
This movie
Everything
is
about John
dated.
Wick puts this movie to shame. And
But
I'm
there
not
are-
even a John
Oh,
Wick fan.
There are
Fantastic.
scenarios in this movie that are like just so ridiculous that it's just so fun. Like obviously him in the alligator suit made me laugh really hard.
And
Him
he's eaten by an alligator.
in the
face.
in the first 10 minutes with the fake horse butt turning
Oh my
into an
God.
airplane. That was funny.
The first 10 minutes.
the
There-
first 10 minutes is fantastic.
There are so many fun, and then the title sequence. Whatever the hell
the
that
credits was awesome too.
It was like
I
it was
like
so
the song.
fun. I was like, oh, this is a PG movie. This movie is
Yes.
rated PG, by the way.
I was on Voodoo watching this, and there were like family
was
play. I was
PG.
like, why the hell would there be family play? I know now, because there's like so much sex in this
There's
movie.
like it's like half it's like porn. But yeah, James Bond
You
is
see a naked woman in
Yes.
this
yes,
film.
James Bond is the horniest motherfucker.
he
in the
recovers
entire
from
movie.
his life-threatening injuries.
he kicks off the boot.
Sex.
He kicks off the boot. That's another really funny scene.
She's like, but you're too
But
injured.
for every-
rips that thing off.
I know Carter's really excited to shit on this movie. But
I'm not gonna.
I just think I'm more negative than positive on this movie. I
am
think
too. It's almost.
there is
awful.
some real bullshit in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
All the jokes consist of sexual innuendo, and a lot of times it's really dumb and not funny and like kind
All
of
the fucking
demeaning.
quips are terrible.
And like, but there are definitely moments
Like when
where
he's
I
using a
laughed.
tennis racket, he's like, game set bond.
See, no, that shit's funny to me. When he's like game set bonds, that's funny, man.
I'll
One more.
interject with
One more.
my-
I have one more
Okay.
scene. The guy playing the James Bond scene as a snake charmer was also
Oh
really
yeah,
funny.
I wrote that down. That was hilarious.
Like they're just like there were so many funny moments that like there are a lot of reasons to hate this movie. Like a lot
It
of
almost
them.
seems self-aware
A lot.
sometimes, but then it's not.
It
I
seems
don't think
not
so.
self-aware in any way.
I don't think it.
Like when he's playing the James Bond theme on the snake charmer.
No,
Oh, no,
I would
it's-
agree with you that it was self-aware of
In
the
s-
creepy sex scenes.
No, it's self-aware in the action sense, but not
Yeah.
in
Anything
the
But
sex.
not in anything else. Goddamn.
So yeah, Carter.
I was more on the I hated this film side. I didn't loathe it or anything. I didn't feel really super angry when I watched it. I would say I hate it because I'm frustrated in the same type of way I was frustrated watching a movie like Dogville. In that there were so many moments that I loved and so many moments I thought were great, and then there'd just be like 30 minutes of dull,
Nothing.
slog, creepy, boring, nothing, like dead air.
Really
And
awkward
it
sex
was-
scenes
it was-
with old crusty James
It got to be too much. I got an hour and 20 minutes into this movie, and I was like, I have to go to bed because I can't suffer through another hour of this film. Which
is very
to
long.
to mention, it is 2 hours and 11 minutes,
Yes.
which is kind of really lengthy for
dumb
a B
action
movie.
Yeah.
A B action movie. Like it's not even one of the new Bond movies, so it's just like ridiculous at some point.
Yeah, so I had to stop watching it. I watched the next day, and I felt the same way. There would be moments I absolutely love it. I think it is hilarious. I think it has this weird vibe to it that is unlike.
Yeah, it's so.
Most
I
B
stand
movies.
by that. Like it made me want to check out the other.
Yes,
Bond
I need to
movies.
watch other ones
I
now.
want to
Here's
watch
the thing,
other
though.
ones.
I don't think other Bond movies are like this. I
They
think
might
this
be.
is a no.
I have
I
no
think
idea,
this
honestly.
is a
no
weird.
matter what.
I think this is a weird black sheep of the Bond
You
movies.
really think?
Because I know this because my girlfriend's uncle is a big Bond person, and I told her I was watching Octopussy. She was like, oh yeah, my uncle was talking about that movie and how weird and bad it is.
Oh, interesting.
So I think this is like a weird detour Bond took into.
I still do want to
camp.
check out the other ones.
I want to see, because maybe I might be wrong.
Also,
there's probably some Bond heads getting pretty mad at me for that.
Also, the new one looks really good.
The new one does look
The trailer
good.
looked really good.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I've never seen any other James Bond movies other than this.
I've seen
Skyfall is supposed to be great.
I've seen the new ones. I really like the new ones. I love Skyfall.
I really want to see Skyfall.
Eh.
I heard Spectre was also.
Yes.
So anyways, I just like this movie because it kept titillizing me with this great...
It's titillizing me, alright.
With these hilarious B-movie excellent scenes. The opening is great. The first 10 minutes is tight... It's what I wanted the whole movie to be, and then after the credits, I sat through 25 minutes before I got to the snake charming scene.
Exactly how I think, like, if you could just take those sequences of greatness and just compile them into one thing.
A compilation.
So good.
Like a 15-minute YouTube compilation.
I want to take pretty much all the action scenes and just only have that. For the most part.
I would also say another reason why I'm definitely more towards hate than love. I think the goofy, silly action scenes got old for me.
I get
They
that.
didn't really do anything new or inventive with their B-movie camp ever, I don't think.
Drives a car on the railroad track.
That was really funny.
It felt...
I had to rewind that scene 3 times because I missed like a second, and next thing I know, the car's flying off the rails.
It felt one note for me in every sense, in that the boring scenes were super repetitive. There's multiple scenes of him seducing a woman in pretty much
gorilla suit.
the same exact way.
Let's not.
And somehow managed to slip out of it.
Yeah.
And to get on top of the train.
He hitting a gorilla suit, and then maybe 10 minutes later, he was hiding a clown costume. It's just a repetitive movie. Even the campy stuff felt repetitive to me.
I don't know. Every time
I liked all
being
the
impressed by the action scenes and the silliness of the movie.
I was never impressed.
It
just kept one-upping itself.
I don't know if it kept. I don't think it did. I don't think it went up itself.
And he's on a hot air balloon.
The hot air balloon is really funny. Also,
that blew me away.
But I think for me it was more I was craving anything that wasn't the boring part. So like whenever it did happen, I was like, oh sweet.
Exactly.
I don't know if I could say it's a positive.
I don't think there's anything objectively good about this movie.
Let me make
Another
my point.
thing I would say is that James Bond is a creep, loser, old pervert who does nothing, and it started to drive me nuts because the movie is not aware of this fact at all.
I love that.
And instead of thinking it was funny, I just made it creepier to me because I thought of the people behind the camera. However, in my notes, I did say that these awful, uncomfortable moments were kind of also wonderful. Because I started thinking of these poor woman actresses who had to sit there while this creepy old man tried to act cool and slick in front of them. And it was such an uncomfortable feeling that I started to kind of love it.
I would say I
hated it most of this movie.
I'm gonna make my opinion
and
very clear.
I think all of it is kind of brought down. Any moments of enjoyment you'll have, will be followed up by probably 15 to 25 minutes of boredom.
And I just think my biggest thing was just like, it's just such a conflict of interest, like trying to make these strong female characters and then literally, probably sometimes seconds later, completely simplifying them into Bond girls, which sucks.
This movie
sucks.
It has no idea what it wants to be at all.
Especially in an era where there's just like, you see so many like strong female action characters.
This movie was made in the 80s?
I know.
Yes, it was made in the 80s.
It's straight out of the 60s.
It's bad.
It seemed like they took a movie out
of the 60s. It doesn't even look
60s.
like it's from the 80s.
It looks like it's from the 60s.
Yeah, it does.
I was confused when I heard that it's from the 80s.
Yeah, I found that out.
Maybe they were going for the 60s vibe?
It's possible.
I can't give them that much
guarantee it. I just want to say there's so many scenes in here that I laugh at. And I think it's just because... I'm going to make my point very clear. This is a terrible movie. It's not a good movie.
I don't know if I'd say terrible.
I I think I would.
I think this
more
movie
towards,
does almost nothing.
I think
right.
I'd
The
lean
only
more
moments
towards
it does right
it's
is
so
the goofy
bad
moments.
it's good.
They might be X.
He did crush the dice in his.
I forgot about the dice scene. I wrote that down and forgot about it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That was.
That whole car chase in India was
insane.
fantastic.
I know. Yeah.
It was genuinely
It was well
exciting.
Like,
Yeah, it was well made.
And
I
it
didn't
flowed
understand.
weirdly.
Was that like a secret hideout that they went
I
into,
was
or
confused
was
by
that?
a lot of the logic of the film.
I don't
the
understand why
whole
he would let
subplot.
him use his dice.
The whole subplot with the eggs was kind of making me. Apparently, it was just one guy wanted to sell them to get rich for himself, and
you want
this
me to
led
be
him
honest?
into the bomb.
I completely forgot about the eggs.
The eggs was like the inciting incident.
The actual thing
Yeah.
made
The
no sense.
The actual thing, it was basically
I wrote that down.
The loser Bond stumbled upon this
I don't.
conspiracy to plant a bomb into a base by trolling this random guy who just wanted more money from the eggs.
It
Yeah.
didn't make. Any
I have a
sense.
question. Why,
I think-
after the Russian
I
guy
think-
dies, does the other guy care so much about the bomb going off? Like, he doesn't. He shouldn't care anymore.
The whole thing. What I restarted the movie right as they started, like doing the train swapping thing with the bomb and the treasure, and for probably 10 minutes I had no idea what the hell was going on in the movie.
Yeah, no.
And then he drove a car on the railroad.
But
track.
James Bond does headshot someone in this movie, and it's like.
I know. Like
That's like shocking.
Oh my god! It's like PG.
It was
This is PG.
it was a
It's like this
shocking act of
young man, and
brutal-
there's just a hole in his head. You're like,
PG.
holy shit.
PG.
Well, are we done?
I don't know.
I'm glad we did this in a second.
Are we
Can we
done?
talk about the auction scene where James Bond gets so bored he immediately finds a
I
woman?
was half asleep because I was so bored. That
He's
auction-
always looking for girls
Like, just
at
imagine-
every moment of
this
this
movie had some weirdly long scenes as well.
Yes. Like
Weirdly
James Bond,
long scenes.
he's motivated by pussy, and that's it. Dude,
He's not even. He's not good at his job.
The
though.
reason he
he has
buys
some moments.
Octopussy is because
I think the moment at the auction was pretty smart.
He stumbles across
The
his
moment
adventure
where he
the
was
whole
playing
movie.
dice was good, I think. He had moments of like
that
being
scene is
smart.
only smart because
And he-
the other idiot was so dumb he let him took his dice. Like,
Anyone with
Well,
half
that's
a
the
brain
rules.
cell could have figured out he was using loaded dice.
I know, that
He
was
rolled
funny.
double sixes
That the other
every
guy was like,
time.
double sixes for the 12th time in a
you're a real
row.
lucky man.
I'll go again.
Anyways,
But
Yeah.
God, can I talk about one more scene?
yeah.
What is it?
I like how the only reason he gets to the mystery is because Q is like, Bond, the rest of the mission is on this island full of women. He's like, women, you say?
Oh,
Bond will never leave that island.
Can we talk about the first time the word Octopussy is spoken?
Yeah, and Bond is immediately like, really?
So he bangs this girl.
He
And
flirts on the receptionist immediately.
he bangs this
And
girl.
says, you're too old. You're the younger
he's-
one. I want you.
In this PG movie, he just had intimate sex with this girl. He's sensually rubbing her body.
Can I ask
And
about
he-
this?
He comes across a little octopus tattoo, and he goes, "What's this on your back?" or something to that extent.
She's
And
like, "It's
she
my
says,
fault."
"It's my little octopus."
And then no explanation
Cut.
as to why she
I
until
think
maybe,
also
until maybe
that?
20 minutes later. I just thought it was a weird sex thing.
She never comes back, does she?
No, she
No, she does. She's in the movie.
But like,
I don't remember.
it's apparent that she didn't really have much of a connection to
No,
the
she
actual.
did. She was on the island.
Was
I
on
think
the
she
island?
was a member
No,
of
she
the
was
island.
staying with the guy.
Oh,
She was the guy's
yeah.
husband, or
Whatever.
so she had
I don't
no.
care.
So for some reason, she had this tattoo. Didn't call it.
Wasn't
that.
she related in some? Maybe she just respected the
Whatever, who
powerful
cares?
woman
Who
of
cares? Literally, who
Octopussy
cares?
Island. This movie's called Octopussy.
I just love
Alright,
the idea.
scores.
I just love the idea that
Oh.
if James Bond was offered, like, James, you have to go to Iraq. He's like, are there women there?
All right.
They're covered up.
I sent him a picture while watching it. And it was like the name of the movie and then PG, like right above
Yeah.
it. And I was like, what the hell?
Nick, what are
Alright,
you
scores.
3 out of 10. I don't know.
I originally
Well-
gave it a 4 out of 10. I'm probably gonna move it down to 3 because talking about it, I realized how much I did like.
I
this
think it's
movie.
just so bad it's good for me.
I'm at a 4.
I was at a 4. I'm moving it down to 3.
It's just
If
so
I
bad
had
it's
to
good
give
for
it-
me.
I'm closer to a 5 than a 3.
If I had to give it a rating
I don't blame you,
Letterboxd,
honestly.
I'd give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Honestly, I might move my score up to a 4 because I really do enjoy
I'm at a 4.
the action
Well,
scenes.
we would all be
I would
agreeing
watch-
if I didn't convince myself it was.
I would
worse.
watch it again.
I
I
honestly
would
probably,
never watch this.
I don't know if
I
I'd be able
would
to.
fall
I might.
asleep.
I might laugh so hard.
I would skip to the fun parts.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. The
I
best
would-
way to watch this movie would be watch a 20-minute compilation.
Like
of
what we
the
did.
funny
Remember what we
moments.
did with all of the Final Destination movies,
Yeah.
where we just looked up all deaths, Final Destination. All right,
I actually like a couple of those.
So 4-4-3, right?
4-3.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad we did that 1 second.
Yeah.
Objectively, that's like a 1. I don't think there's
Oh, yeah.
any good qualities about the film.
Yeah, but like
But it's still fun.
But in
I
terms
had-
of enjoyment value,
for 25% of the movie, I was having fun.
boring.
I think I was laughing at everything that happened.
I don't know about everything. A lot of times I was like, ew.
I think I just laughed
There's a
because I was uncomfortable.
Creepy aspect to this.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy
The one-
feeling the film.
the first
gives you
moment
that's
when I
not
was-
Weinstein feeling.
The first moment when I was really like that was when she literally said no, and then he kept kissing her.
Yes, that was
Immediately
I-
after it was
rape
established,
vibes.
immediately after it was established that she was an incredibly strong woman, and then that happened. I was like, "Fuck that!
And
That's
then
so
she started
dumb."
kissing him back.
Yeah, I was like, "Really, man? That bed was also ridiculous."
But then poisonous octopus latches itself to someone's face.
And that stupid saw weapon.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
How did it even work?
It was the least useful but kind of.
That
cool
character wasn't
weapon
even developed.
He
He just had a saw.
He just somehow knew how to
Of
use
that
that.
film. He was
Also,
like,
that one
He
guy.
dies. He doesn't kill
Also,
anyone
that
else.
one guy died.
Oh yeah.
Like he was like a side character, he just died, and Bond was like,
Oh,
"What's his
damn.
name?" And he's like, "Oh."
Well,
A guy died?
pretty much for both Oh Brother We're Out There and Octopussy, we both kind of just named scenes from
All
the
right,
movie.
this one's I
This
think
one I think will be a little different.
Yeah. I don't think you can just name scenes in this movie.
next one. It's a little more serious movie, I would
A
say.
little darker tone.
Yes.
Yes, but
It's hopeful.
It was.
I
fun.
thought I was like, wow, a movie with a happy ending.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
One sings, the other doesn't. French film,
Who's going first? please?
Agnes Varda. Yeah, it's a foreign film, so obviously not everyone will get it. But I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts first.
Would you like to hear
When
mine?
it comes to my movies, I like to
Yeah,
hear the
I
others'
give you
thoughts
my
first.
thoughts too, but I'd like
Nick?
to hear what Nick thinks.
I really loved it. I think it was really enjoyable. This movie goes from.
Enjoyable while you like seeing women suffer.
I mean, like when it's happy, it's happy. When it's sad, it works.
That's a
Like
good way to put it.
the music really is great in this movie.
I disagree. I was incredibly annoyed by the
I was-
music the entire film.
I think it was catchy.
Wait,
I thought
actually?
it was purposefully not very good.
What the fuck?
What?
What?
I liked the
You
music.
weren't annoyed by the music at all?
No.
I was.
Are you okay? Time out. Are you talking about like the background music or like when she's actually
I'm talking
singing?
about when she's singing.
I'm talking about like overall like just the
Oh, the
atmospheric
actual.
stuff.
Are you talking about the score or
The
the,
score.
music? Oh, the score.
I also
good.
liked the music.
The score is
I liked
good.
both.
I think the music she sings is
The music she sings, it wasn't.
insufferable at times.
Oh, I don't think it was.
I
I don't
think-
think it was insufferable.
I
The
think it
lyrics
was
were on
like the
nose, but
corniest hippie
that-
music I've ever heard.
That
yes,
Or
but I think
somewhere
that
when
was the
it's done
point.
That
right.
was the point, and I don't. So that's why I was when you guys were like, I loved it. I was like,
I thought it
confused,
was fun
but-
sounding though. I like the sound of it.
I think it fit.
I didn't. It fit her character,
It fit
so that's
perfectly.
why I wouldn't take points off.
There was
for that.
one song towards the end I really liked.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
take.
did.
I wouldn't take
remember.
points off for that,
The
but I don't
bubble
think anything she's saying was very good.
I don't think it was the bubble one.
I didn't realize you guys were. I think the score.
The
is
score I
good.
thought was
The
excellent.
score is
I
really
think
good.
it
Really
came
good.
in at
It's
perfect
particularly in
times.
the
I think it was
credits, the opening
subtle.
credits, I think.
I
I
think it
think
was
this
subtle,
movie
I
is
think it
also
works.
extremely well filmed.
Yes,
This movie is
I wrote down.
gorgeous.
I think it's,
It
was-
was beautiful.
There's some hunting shots in this, like the shot of when Jerome hangs himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
That shot is incredible. But it's
I
haunting.
love the shots of the
Um,
girls, the faces and the
Yes.
pictures.
It's very.
All right, finish your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
We'll talk
I
about
really
more.
love this movie. All the performances were really good for me. I think the plot, it works. It's like it's almost like these two women. You just see their lives, and it works super well. Like you see
One
two,
sings, the other doesn't.
you see two perspectives on two different lives, and it's really interesting to watch. Like where they go in their life, like what they achieve, and how their past lives have affected them. I think it's really cool.
Carter?
And it has some great messages too.
I'm a little more in the middle than Nick is. I liked it. I did not love it. I was kind of underwhelmed by the whole thing. I think more than anything, it's a aesthetically pleasing film. I think the two main actresses, particularly, I don't know her name.
Apple or
Apple,
Apple or
yes,
Suzanne?
Apple. I think Apple is amazing in this film. I think Susan is okay. Suzanne is okay. I don't think she's great. The scene where she finds out her husband died, I noted that I don't think she was very good in that scene. She kind of makes a weird gasping noise that I thought was kind of ridiculous.
Well, it's grief.
How do you know how anyone would react?
It just didn't seem realistic to me at all.
Wow,
Especially compared to how fantastic Apple's
I'd like to see how
performance.
you react.
Compared to Apple's fantastic performance in that scene, like the subtleties of her having to reveal that to her friend were fantastic.
I agree that Apple.
But Suzanne was kind of just like, to me in that scene. I think they had a good chemistry together. I think they both were fairly believable for the roles they played.
I believe their chemistry holds.
No one else has any characterization in the entire film. Which
disagree.
The husband.
The husband.
the husband. What is his character?
That he's a guy who like is putting on a front.
Yeah.
Being this feminist guy only to get this girl to come
He
home.
really
Yeah, but like,
what's
what's his character?
It's like a faker.
Yeah.
I was almost fine with it because the movie's about the girls, but there's nothing notable about the guy. And I thought that might have been purposeful.
I think
Like, he's kind of just this blank slate in the back that she briefly takes up on, and you know it's obviously going to end. But I also thought it was neat how the most radical and outspoken feminist ended up in the most traditional relationship. And the one who kind of wanted the more, the feminism where you're still in a household and you still bear children and you have a family but you're like still empowered, ended up being all alone. So the one who actually wanted a relationship, but in the end,
who was actually doing something.
but then they ended up in the end they both got what they want. It was kind of a sweet moment. But overall, I would say mostly underwhelmed. I thought the film was kind of dull for a lot of it. I
can see that.
After a while, I got it, and then I wanted it to end because I kind of knew, like, okay, you can wrap it up now. Pretty much once Apple leaves the husband, and the husband takes the child away, and she joins the hippie group again, I was like, okay, well, we're finished here, and then there's still probably 20 minutes or so left. So I was more in the middle. I still liked it, but I just didn't love it. Jonathan?
I also really liked it. I think the way it was told was so well done and interesting through the postcards, and I just like more than like a feminist film. I just loved it as a movie about like friendship, like how friendship can maintain over distances and stuff. I just thought that it would have been so easy for this movie to take like an overly negative route and like be like all bad stuff, but I think I found it to be like incredibly like uplifting at times, and I think especially the ending. I was like,
I think that's the most refreshing part of this movie. It's an art house film that doesn't end in just despair.
yes, because I feel like I've seen
that too many times. It's not a bad thing, but like
no,
nice
nothing
to see
against
something
that, but
new.
just like I thought it ended on a perfect note.
Yes,
And I just really loved it as like a story of friendship, basically.
it's a really uplifting film. I really like that.
I think especially after seeing Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which I think has probably some of the best friendship chemistry I've ever seen, I kind of made me feel less about this film
Really?
because
Yeah,
I don't think
I don't agree
their
with that at all.
chemistry is amazing in this movie. I think it's good. I think Apple's
But
performance
they're not because they're not like
steals the
together
show.
a lot. I agree.
I
that
know,
she-
but I don't know. I think they're good. I just think I wasn't blown away by almost any aspect.
but they're
of
not
this
like
film.
in scenes together a lot, so it's hard to build that chemistry.
I know. I didn't feel the chemistry when they were together either. Really, I felt it a little. I think they both were good for the roles that they played, but I don't know. I didn't feel the love as much as I think I was supposed to, especially at the end.
I think one of my favorite parts about this movie is it's not like it shows this abortion as this draining life, just ruining effect. they grow after the abortion, and that's really refreshing to see after seeing so many movies that just say abortion is life changing. I mean, obviously it is, but you grow from it sometimes. And
I do think that 4 Months is a better abortion movie.
Well, yeah, I
I
wouldn't
haven't
call
seen
this
4
an
Months yet.
abortion.
Me either, but I'm saying
I
I think
wouldn't
that
know
movie
that.
handles abortion.
I just noted it.
I think
That it was-
that movie, of all the movies I've seen, handles abortion the most mature way.
That movie's really
If we ever do a number episode,
we do.
I might have
Well,
to recommend that.
We know where we're going.
I did 25 or whatever years, 45 years.
Oh, 45 years,
45
yes. But,
Back to this movie.
I mean, I can
I
check
think-
out my notes. I don't have a lot of...
I think
There isn't a
criticisms.
lot to say about this movie.
I
Other
think
than
I just
I
think it
just
was.
did
I thought it
think-
was so many scenes that like I just thought it was like if I had a word to describe this movie, it'd be like beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Like I
really-
just think like both looking, sounding, and like just like the story. I just really enjoyed like how the story was told through these various like these parallel lives like being told through postcards. I just thought it was very interesting.
I love the
and, like,
outfits. Like,
Yeah, the costume design was really
the
good.
costume design changes drastically and matches
There
the
is a
characters. I think.
boob shirt.
There is a boob shirt.
I love the boob shirt.
That was a shock to me.
That was funny. She changed into that
She
from
took
being
out
nude.
naked
Yeah.
boobs and put on real boobs.
Some of
But
the
yeah.
extras were kind of rough for me. I thought some of the, especially the little kids, weren't very good in this film.
You and your child actors always.
Oh, most of the kids suck. In
Mars
movies.
von Trier's worse.
Lars von Trier is terrible at directing. We don't have to get on
It's
this. but
purposeful.
It's not.
He does it on purpose. It's fine.
Yeah, I really
It's
like
genius.
this movie though.
I also really like.
I was
this movie.
borderline love this.
More in the middle for me. But I still liked it. I still think I can't name, like, some movies I don't like and I list off 50 things that I think are wrong with the film. This one, it's more.
I can see
it didn't
why.
work
I can see
for
why
me.
you think it's slow. I was like, I wanted to see where these people's stories went. I wanted to see where it ended up.
Yes.
I wanted to see where their life. I was, unlike how I felt like Dark Water. I was like invested.
Callback.
This movie gave me reasons to care about these characters. I was invested in them fully. I wanted both of them to succeed and be happy. Like, I was very invested in these characters.
I'm gonna disagree that I was always invested. There were moments I definitely were, specifically right after Suzanne's husband died. I really cared about what happened to them, but when she started, when Apple started dating her husband and then ex-husband, I kind of didn't care about that at all because
You really didn't?
they made it pretty obvious from the outset for me that it wasn't going to actually go anywhere.
Well, yeah, because I was
And
wondering. I was curious.
They
as-
developed their relationship so little that it was almost. It felt like it took up too much time for the payoff that was kind of just obviously going to happen anyways.
I wanted to know how it was going to affect her.
Yeah, I want to see her
I was always
afterward.
looking.
And I think the way they did the breakup wasn't like how you would have expected it.
Yeah.
Like you really thought that it'd be like she's gonna have her kid, he's gonna take the kid and leave. Like you really thought.
No,
I think that's like
she told him to take the kid.
I'm saying you said it was
Which
you said from the beginning
didn't feel
you,
that
you said
honest or realistic.
you said
to
from
me.
the
For someone
beginning
who
you
was supposed
knew-
to be I knew they wouldn't last. I knew they'd break up because they developed their love not at all, pretty much. And I think it was kind of unrealistic for this person who's supposed to be all about spreading love and joy to just be like, yeah, take your kid. I don't care about my kid, my
She
child.
realized what he was all about, and
she
Yeah, but
knew that
she
she
didn't-
knew that he wasn't giving
she-
up that kid.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, just give me one.
So then she's selfish.
she's not.
Yeah, I think she definitely was a flawed character.
Yeah.
Then I don't think that's flawed as much as that goes against what the rest of her beliefs would be.
I think a
Her-
lot of
she's all about
you made the
spreading
point,
love
but
and-
you also made the point that she's someone who's all against like this rigid structure, and then she goes into it. I think
Yeah.
her
She
character
goes
is
into it,
meant
which
to
was
be
another
flawed.
reason why I thought it was kind of incredibly predictable that they wouldn't last because they didn't develop it at all, and then they spent so much time on it. I started to get annoyed. But that's her leaving the child just seemed. Again, I just don't think they developed it very much. Maybe if they went into more detail, it just seemed kind of like another thing that happened. And that's kind of what this movie turned to me, was just this thing happened, and then another thing happened, and another thing happened, and I didn't feel...
Sounds like, oh brother, where art thou?
That's life.
I didn't feel the progression. I didn't feel really that invested in what was going on.
I felt the progression.
I
of the
thought this
characters.
movie handled like progression over
Yeah.
time really well.
I thought it handled getting mature pretty well. Like, they had to mature themselves, really.
Yeah, seems you're outnumbered here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, her dad's...
I didn't hate
abusive.
it. Again, I liked the movie. I just didn't think
I think
it
it
was
was perfect.
good.
It was the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are we doing scores now?
I think...
Yeah.
All right. Nick?
Where are we starting with me? You guys might not believe this. 9 out of 10.
I originally gave it a 6.5 to a 7. Probably more around a 6.5 for me.
Okay, I think I'm at 8.5.
Alright.
All right.
And
well,
if we're choosing favorite movies of this episode, I'm gonna have to go with one sings, the other doesn't.
well, according to my scores, I'm gonna have to go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
And a shocker, I'm going with Octopussy. Just kidding. This one's really hard because I think I had pretty much same scores for both of them, but they're just so different. I think I'd go One Sings also.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
All right. Well,
Alright.
there you have it.
That's it.
Yeah. What's
What's
our next letter?
Our next episode is
Oh, yes.
an incredibly difficult
Yeah,
letter.
we got pretty screwed over with this one.
We got Q.
Q.
I chose Quarantine.
Yeah, that one's gonna be real fun.
The American remake of
Of
the
Wreck.
excellent Spanish horror film
One of my
Wreck.
favorite horror films of all time. I have to watch the American release. Awesome. Carter, what did you choose?
I picked what is described as a docu-rama on
Docu-rama.
Google. It's called Quiz Show. I saw it on Netflix and it
Nice.
looked interesting. And I always love movies about game shows. I've always loved game shows, so I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, like The Price is Right.
And Jonathan, what did you choose?
I have to remember the name. It's Quick something.
Quick Change?
Quick Change, starring
Wow,
Bill
I
Murray.
remembered it.
Also
Wow,
written by.
obviously a passion pick from
Also,
John.
there's hard to do passion picks for
Q,
Q.
the serpent.
But I think it was also written by Bill Murray, and the
Ooh.
cover of it looked really interesting.
It looks
All
bizarre.
right.
So I'm.
I
I'm
think
pumped
we
for
got.
that
I think
one
we
too.
got.
I think we got a good.
I think we made
Yeah.
do with what we had, and I'm excited for this one. Shorter episode this time, but I think that's a good
I
thing.
think we. I think we
How long
covered
was
all
this
the
one?
bases. Generally.
How long was this one?
This isn't going to be something we discuss on the podcast.
I'll go.
We
can
don't
talk
care
this
about
after.
the time limit.
Yeah,
I
Wait, let's
do.
go for another hour. Why not?
Let's go. Let's.
How are your guys' days been?
Octopussy.
How are your guys' days been?
I've been Nick. You can follow me on Instagram at Nick Movie Reviews, and Twitter is ncody1, I think. Still haven't figured
Oh
it out.
yeah, Mr. Blister on Letterboxd and
They don't even know who it
Mr. underscore Blister on Instagram. That's Mr. Blister.
Yeah, I don't have anything. It's fine.
You
Just
have
kidding.
a Letterboxd.
Yeah, I was making a joke because you had to take 10 years. But my letterbox is John Pietrafeza. Again, this will be in the description. All of ours will be in the description.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Nick from Movies by the Letter, one of the co-hosts, or maybe the main host, we don't know anymore. And I'm just here to say thank you for watching and everything. This really is supporting us. We've wanted to do this podcast for a while, and now that we have the resources to do it, it's a lot of fun. Support our Patreon so we can do this more often. If you support us on Patreon, you get a little shout out in this section. And our first patron, I believe, is Benjamin Schiffer. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And the last thing I have to say is follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, go on SoundCloud to find us. We're everywhere, alright? All those will be in the link below. And thanks so much for listening.